Hey, so this video's for both Mark and Leia. I'm making it for both you guys because first I wanted to not just tell you how much I appreciated the invitation to church, but um, I wanted to show it by sharing some of God's love with you. And first, I gotta be honest, like this is a side of me I don't even really recognize or know. I never was comfortable about like sharing my faith or even having faith sometimes. But once I finding out like if I take one step towards faith, like God takes 10 steps towards me, and just I'm like these just happen that you can't explain. And it's like the children of Israel were in the desert and manna came. It just, nobody could explain it. And it was the perfect nutrient. And it came every morning and they had to collect it. That morning, it wouldn't stick around. If you didn't get up, it was gone. You were without food. You couldn't save it or sell it. It was free. But you had to just go every day and get it. And like you could say, like, I don't believe in God or whatever. But dude, if you want to, if you want to eat, there's the manna. Like, explain it. And the thing is I realized that that's an important thing. It's daily. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's also with life itself. But it's one thing to have those moments where those big moments where you make a decision to follow God or to stop taking drugs or to whatever it is, and you're sincere and you mean it. But then as time goes on, it's easy. That's like part of our mind is working against us. It's like creating the environment where we could go back to sleep. And so I know, Mark, I've only met you that one time, but I feel like I know you. And Leia, I have just like the utmost respect, and I really appreciate the chance to get to know you guys because, I've never had Christian friends before or been a part of. I've had friends that were Christian. Like we went to school. I went to a school that was Seventh-day Adventist, so like we were Christian, and I have had, but I don't really count them because we were kids and we didn't really have a choice. We're going to Bible school, but I mean adults who've consciously decided to live a godly life. And I've always been fascinated by the cool kids because I was not cool at all. And I don't know, that fascination has got me in trouble. And I was 38 before I ever really started to have a problem with any kind of substances or whatever. I made up for lost time. And on any other subject, I'm solid. You can give me $1 million, I'll ask me to hold it for you for a week. I'll give a week comes, every penny will be there. I'm not going to abscond with your money. If I borrow your car, well, I don't drive these days, but whatever. If I borrowed your car and I put a nick or scratch it, I wouldn't try to sneak it. I would let you know. But I tell people, like, if I'm sober and you ask me if I'm sober, I'm going to say, yeah, I'm sober, I'm good, because that's the truth. But if I'm not, I'm shady. And I'm going to tell you, yeah, I'm sober. And you can't tell the difference. And I get that. And I hate that. And I told my friend, I'm like, just don't trust you. It hurts me to say it, but you can't trust me on that subject. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'm telling you, like, dude, you got to lock. Like, at night, I'm not the same person. And it's not easy to say that because, but it's true. And so last night, okay, so here's the thing. I wasn't planning on going into this, but it's true. So, I don't know, before I left the place, they were putting these creams on for the rash and stuff. Sorry, Mark. I know, TMI. But it started bleeding. Part of it started bleeding. And they tried something else, and it just seemed to make it worse. And then I was released or discharged. And I've been dealing with it, but it's like I don't know. My mom had surgery the day after I got out. She had a hip replaced, and so she hasn't been able to. I haven't even spoken to her. Well, a little bit, but just for a little bit. And then my brother's working this weekend. My other brother's over with my mom, and so, I've just been on my own. And plus, I just like the discomfort was coming from the one place that you really don't want to discuss with other people. And that's really stupid because Leia's a doctor. She was my doctor. I think that ship's already sailed. But I'm just stubborn. And I don't know, I was embarrassed. And I didn't want to be like, dude, my bug hole's on fire. And I don't think I can sit in a, And so I kind of danced around it a little bit when I wrote, this was 2 a.m. The thing is I hated sending the message because I was thinking, I'm not really being shady, but if I were going to be shady, this is exactly my MO. And, I didn't know you were going to, like, Jedi mind meld me. And so when you responded, I was like, dude, that's not what this is, but, like, good call. Like, wow. Like, that's why I was like, note to self. Like, dude, I don't know. I mean, I'm not proud to say this, but, and I can be pretty resourceful when it comes to evading responsibility and commitment and making people feel like everything's cool when it's not cool, I could never get anything past my sister, ever. And, she just look at me. And I was like, it doesn't even matter what I say. She just looks at me. I'm like, oh, fuck. And the thing is like, yeah, I tell myself, I'm a grown man. But there's just part of me that it's ingrained in me. I was thinking about, my friend was a kickboxer, and he went to Thailand to train, and he was a big, strong, guy. And he and one of the other fighters, a Thai fighter, owed money to the mafia. And so, because they had to pay for their training, and they didn't have money, and I guess they borrowed from the mafia, or I don't know, somehow the mafia was involved. And so anyway, they were paying off their debt by going on collections and going to people who owed gambling debts, and basically their job was to intimidate people into pay back the money. And it's funny because if you know my friend, dude, he would never follow through on anything like that. But they would act mean and tough. And they went to the friend's name was Lek, and Lek was the guy. He cooked for everybody. Lek was the guy that found the dog, the stray dog. He took it in and made it his own. He was just he had a good heart, but he was doing this job. And they knocked on a door, and the guy was like, look, I don't have money, what do you want from me? And Lek was getting loud, and the guy's wife comes to the door, and she looks and she goes, Lek, is that you? And he recognized her as his 4th grade teacher, and he starts bowing to her, and she just got incensed. She's like, so this is what you are doing with your life after everything we put into and he couldn't say it. He just had to and if you not know Thai culture, and when he told other Thai people later, they weren't like, dude, what the heck? They're like, oh, dang, we get it. He couldn't say anything. And she was like, where's my phone? I'm calling your mom. He's like, hey. why we got to bring moms into this. And she's like, where are you training? And I'm going to go there. And if I find out I will come down there. I will bring your auntie. I'll bring your mom. And you have lost face with me. You better earn it back. And dude, he was done. He was done. He's like, I don't know. I'll sweep floors or something. I can't, like, it was just ingrained in him from the time he was a kid. There are certain things that are, I don't know. You don't fuck with them. And I could be very shady. And like, most people are, I don't know. Especially if I think, like, someone's just annoyed or they don't really, I don't know, whatever. I'm good at just, so, yeah, I know I'm a grown man, blah, 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 but there's just something like, that's why when I responded, I said, like, God's a real thing, because there's no, look, I'm like, you were dead, right? And I was like, what? but I was glad that was your response, because, like, I'm at a crossroads, let's be honest. And I wish I could tell you, like, yeah, no, I'm 100% it. But that would be dishonest. I dream at night. I've been dreaming at night. And I'll wake up and I'll be bummed because I woke up and I was like, I was about to get high in my dream. And I wake up and I'm like, damn it. Because I'm sober. I don't know where to buy drugs or anything here. And I don't plan on it. It's not on my agenda. But I'd be lying if I told you it wasn't. Like, obviously, if I'm dreaming about it, I'm going to have to deal with that. But look, we have a good time, and that makes it easier. We're lighthearted about it, but at the same time, I know you care, and that means a lot. And Mark, I'm guessing you can relate to this, and so I just wanted to take a minute to, like I said, I wanted to take a minute to express this. Also, I just wanted to share a story with you guys, because I miss church, and so this would like be my chance to contribute a little bit, hopefully, to your Sunday and your experience with God. This is a true story that one of the patients there, her husband, told me, and his name was John, and he came back later for therapy. I saw him as, coming for outpatient therapy. He's an older gentleman, and he was telling me he was a preacher, not a pastor, but a preacher. And he told me that when he got saved, he decided he wanted to, he said he felt the calling, and he wanted to share God's word. And he was talking to someone at work and sharing this with her. And she really humiliated him and told him, like, who do you think you are? Pastors and preachers, they go to school and they're trained, and you think you're gonna save people? You think you have the knowledge? You think anybody's gonna follow you? And it really hurt his feelings. And he prayed about it, and while he was praying, he got the impression that, like, to have forgiveness for her because she was in a situation, probably, and to pray for her and her husband. And he got the feeling like maybe this anger, this hatred was coming from her, a bad relationship or being treated poorly. And so he didn't let it stop him. But it was still kind of nagging in the back of his head. It put some insecurity in his head. And so he thought, okay, well, I'm not going to get a church, anytime soon. I get that. But nobody can stop me from sharing God's word. And so he went and he got the Denver phone book, and he turned to the A's, and he decided he was going to call people and share the gospel with them. And so he picked out a number and he called, and he was like really worried that the guy was going to hang up on him, because that was just going to contribute to his insecurity. And his goal wasn't, his goal was really to be able to get through the call without the guy hanging up, and not necessarily even he didn't even have an expectation of any other, anything beyond that. And he didn't even know what he was going to say when he called. And so he called the guy and he said, the first thing that came to him is he said, "Do you know what would happen to you if you were to die today?" And he waited for the guy to hang up on him, and the guy said, "That's a really good question." And they started a conversation, and then towards the end, the guy asked him, well, I guess he had shared with him, like, why he wasn't worried about it, and, he shared his faith, and at the end of the call, the guy asked him, he said, "Well, will you pray with me?" And he did, and after the prayer, the guy said, "What's your name?" And he told him his first and last name, and the guy said, "Well, my wife works with a guy named John whatever." And he asked the wife's name, and it turned out that the first guy he called randomly from the different phone book was the woman's husband that he had felt the Holy Spirit tell him to pray for. And the thing is when he tells that story, I could feel there's part of him, like I know it's true. I could just feel it, but I could also feel that there's part of him that, like, is a little trepidatious to share that story because people are going to think it's BS. But I get that because I've seen the same thing in my life, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I am a chatterbox, I guess. But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you guys again for thinking of me, and I hope church was good. And please remember me in your prayers. I'm going to remember you, and I guess one day at a time. I still have, this is a new thing for me, but yeah, I feel very optimistic, and so anyway, now I just have to figure out how I can get you this video, but all right, that's it. Thanks for listening, and I hope you had a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.